What's up, guys? My name is Damon Silvestro, and welcome to the second episode of Hoop Spotlight, Small College, Big Dreams, where we highlight coaches, colleges, and universities from NCAA Division II and III, NAIA, USCAA, NCCAA, and JUCO Divisions 1 through 3. Tonight, we have Andy Stark, head coach of NCAA D2 Duville University. How you doing this evening, Coach?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, Damon. I loved episode 1 with Coach Mayo, and I'm excited to be part of episode 2.
Yeah, man, I'm excited as well. I appreciate you taking your time out and being here with us. So I'll be conscious of your time, and we'll just kind of jump straight in. So prior to being in your stomping grounds now, can you kind of walk us through where your career started and how you got to your position now?
Sure. Yeah, it's been a whirlwind. I started off as a manager at St. Bonaventure University, where, working for Coach Mark Schmidt was one of the best things that's really ever happened to me. He's just a wizard, X and O's. Again, he took over a program that was really, really bad, able to turn it around, A10 champions multiple times, and just developing a lot of MBA and pros. So that was good for me. Actually, I got lucky. Well, he got unlucky. I got lucky. His senior year, he tore his Achilles. So I was able to drive him around in his car. I was with him 24/7, just making sure he had everything he needed as a head coach. He tore it right before a game. So he coached the whole game with it down at Binghamton.
Wow.
And then I was with him the whole time, and it just, he's one of the best basketball. I've been really, really blessed to be able to work for amazing head coaches. But he's obviously one of the best. So just being able to pick his brain and be around him all the time was great. From there, I went to Stevenson University as a graduate assistant down in Baltimore, Maryland. Okay. It was a great experience for me just to get down selfishly in that DMV and recruit. And that's where some of the best basketball is. I'm not looking to get into any debates tonight about where's the best basketball, but the DMV is definitely one of the best.
No arguments here. I'm with you.
Yeah, I know. So I was able to go there and start, Coach Gary Stewart was at UCLA. He was the head coach at UC Davis. I was able to see from him how to do things as a head coach. And then in terms of a GA, he gave me, and then our other assistant, Jeff Smith, who's still there, who's a really, really good assistant. He's going to be a head coach here any minute now. He gave us a lot of opportunities to go on the floor and grow, especially in the scouting department. So that was huge for me. From there, I was there for 1 year, got really, really lucky. So super young. Went to Gannon University in Erie, Pennsylvania, Division II in the PSAC. We were good every single year there. Multiple NCAA tournaments were really good. Worked for Coach John Riley, who's now at Christian Brothers Academy. They're not Christian Brothers Academy, Christian Brothers University. Right. I'm recruiting a kid from Christian Brothers Academy. That's why I said it. But yeah, Christian Brothers University, and he's got that program going back to where it was. But he's a defensive minded guy, great recruiter. So that's where I kind of put that stomping ground of that defense and just kind of, again, building a Division II program, because Division II, and I think we get into this a little bit later, is a unique. It's a unique landscape. It's more JUCO. It's more like a junior college or, prep school, honestly, than sometimes it is Division I or Division III. And that's not taking anything away of any of the levels. It's just it's a different landscape. Yep. Coach Riley went down to Christian Brothers, didn't have a full-time assistant. So I ended up staying right there. By the time I basically got to my car that after he said he was going down there, I had a job at Penn State Barron Division III in Erie, Pennsylvania. Met my now wife in Erie, so we wanted to stay in Erie. She was the acrobatics and tumbling coach at Gannon University. So we were trying to stay in Erie. Coach Nyland didn't have anything, but it was one of those things, hey, I can keep you in the game. So I worked for Coach Nyland for 1 year. It was just unbelievable. Again, I've been lucky to work for a lot of good coaches. Coach Nyland is X and O wizard, runs all the 2-guard stuff. Anyone that's listening, highly recommend go on Synergy, watch Penn State Barron, how they get that ball humming around. And he's the nephew of Coach Beeline, so he's in that great family tree of the Beelines.
Genetics.
Oh yeah, yeah, coaching
Yeah.
genetics. So it was great. And it was humbling. I like to consider myself a pretty humble person, but I mean, I was working at a bar from say 8 p.m. to 3 to 4 a.m., closing it down, getting in the office back at 8 a.m., going straight from practice to the bar. I don't even know Coach Nyland knows this. He'll probably listen to this, but I'd be out in the car sleeping before practice just so I could get my energy up, get a couple 7-Eleven coffees, get ready to go. And then so crazy how it works. When I was in Erie the whole time, I stayed connected with someone named Bill Peterson, who just got hired down at Denver, but he was the special assistant to Coach Drew at Baylor. I ended up, my wife, it's just crazy how everything works. My wife gets a job down at Baylor, acrobatics and tumbling, and I just kept going. We moved down on a whim. I didn't have anything lined up. I knew Coach Peterson for a long time, probably 5 or 6 years. He was the G League coach for the Erie Bayhawks. That's how I met him up there. And, he just said, "Hey, I don't think we have anything for you here. Just kind of be around. I can get you in practice, but I don't know what's going to happen." So I said, worst case scenario to my wife, we move down there. I go down and I just kind of hang around practice and just get better as a coach. I was going to try to do my sabbatical as a coach that year, basically. Yeah. And what happened was I just kept showing up. Finally, Coach Drew's like, you know what, this guy's crazy. We're going to try to find him a spot. So kind of put me in a player development support staff role, which was awesome. Obviously, again, just you have to be at the right place at the right time. You have to be lucky. I thought, I worked a lot of summers at the hoop group, and unpaid for a couple of them. And then also working for Penn State Barron in a very minimal wage situation. I was like, man, that's how you're going to catch your break. So obviously went to Baylor. We were number one for most of the year. Lost to North Carolina in the tournament. Just didn't play well that day. And that's what stinks about the tournament. It's just one day. That's what makes it awesome too. So I was there for 1 year. I'm originally from Rochester, New York, so I applied for the D'Youville job. I've applied for a million jobs, just like everyone listening to this thing has. I've been offered a couple. Not offered. I've been right in the finalist, final 1 or 2, and probably 20 jobs. And finally, D'Youville said, hey, this is we want you to be your next head coach, and super grateful. Ends up being that the two athletic directors here, Anna Halliday and Becca Caponera, they both were at St. Bonaventure as young assistant coaches when I was at St. Bonaventure as a manager. So again, like, you might think you have a bad job or you're doing this, you're doing that as a manager. People notice that stuff. So they kind of remembered me from there, and just how no task was too big or too small. And that's kind of how I got here. And predominantly they've really struggled here in men's basketball. And I've been lucky to be part of that transition from Division III to Division II. And last year was our first year as a full Division II program. And it's been a great learning experience. It's been an unbelievable opportunity. And I'm just excited, and I know we're going to get into it more, but just to see where this thing's going, because it's not very many people get to work at the scholarship level. And I'm incredibly blessed to be able to lead this group.
For sure. Yeah. You've had a journey. Journey,
oh yeah, and I think there's a million people like me. I just got lucky and caught a break.
Sure.
So that's my thing.
Yeah, having the right connections and just meeting the right people helps, and it also helps that you're extremely humble and hardworking. So that plays a factor for sure. Well, thank you for giving us that breakdown of kind of your life in a nutshell as far as coaching goes. Now being at D'Youville, this will be the second year as a Division II, correct? Coming up.
Yes. Right. Yep. This will be going into our second year, full Division II. Yep.
That's an exciting time. So you're really there to build it up. What are the requirements to get in?
Yeah, I mean, we're really basic, like most schools. We're looking for high academic kids. I don't think there's a specific like GPA, SAT, ACT type of thing. But I mean, we get kids in. It's a very tough academic school. It's a lot of medical majors. We added a business major, which a lot of guys are in. When I got there, my first year, they started a sports marketing, sports management program, which has been really good to us. But that's really what we do. And it's a small school. It's medical based, and it's right in downtown Buffalo. So it's a great place. I mean, I've been on campuses where you're there for overall Christmas break, and there's 20 kids on campus because it's the women's basketball team and the men's basketball team. We always got things hustling and bustling. We have doctorate programs, we have undergrad, we have masters. So there's a great mix of people. And I think the one thing I really like about working at D'Youville the most is we have great diversity on our campus. So there's people from all over the world, which makes it coaching and working with those people fun.
Yeah, good melting pot.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. So is that what you would say makes it such a special place?
We are really lucky. For anyone that hasn't been able to visit us, it's special. We've put a ton of money into athletics. Have just for myself, incredible backing from our AD Anna Halliday, our president Dr. Lori Clemo. They go to all our games. They back us all. Our athletic facilities are top notch. We probably have the best weight room in Division II. It's just unbelievable. Full-time athletic trainer, full-time strength coach, full-time nutritionist, full-time sports psychologist, and then we have a full-time communications department who's doing all the game recaps and videos and helping me put stuff together for recruiting. And then we have the best in the country. No one can argue with me on this. We have someone named Diamond King Williams. He does all our academics for student athletes. We just posted a monster GPA with our team. Even I saw it and I was like, oh, jeez. Yeah. I've never been more proud of our guys. But he does all our guys' scheduling, helps them with tutoring, any financial aid, all the boxes that all the coaches might roll their eyes that you have to do as a head coach wearing multiple hats. He takes that academic piece and just knocks it out of the park for us. So basically, he's like an assistant coach for all of our coaches, but he does a great job. But that's really what makes Buffalo special. We're in downtown Buffalo. I always tell our recruits Buffalo doesn't have a pro basketball team, so we're it. I mean, it's us, University of Buffalo, Canisius, Niagara, Buff State's right here, Hilbert, and then us and Damon are Division II, which is kind of becoming a nice rivalry. It's not a rivalry till we were able to beat them because they're very, very talented. Coach McDonald does a great job, but it's a special place, and our league's a good league. There's a lot of, there's probably 5 or 6 guys right now in our league get all transferred up Division I. So we got to keep those guys in our league so we can keep building this thing.
For sure. Yeah. Sounds like Buffalo has a great college basketball atmosphere going on.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of transfer portal, how do you think that's affected things for you? And are you heavy in the portal, or how's that working out?
Yeah, that's my life right now. I wake up, I do the Bible, and I think I check the transfer portal next. I think that's about my morning every single morning. But the first thing that's really changed with this transfer portal thing is, as a head coach, the first thing you have to do, in my opinion, and again, don't take it with a grain of salt, but I think you have to re-recruit your players all the time.
Yeah.
It's always re-recruiting your players. And again, those are the most important people you have in your program. They're better than 99.9% of the guys you can get into your program is if you can build your program the right way. I'm really I wouldn't say I'm hard to play for. I'm tricky to recruit for. Our assistants have a really tough job. I really want good kids.
Yeah.
I really want good people. And me and you have talked. Very rarely is it, I'm talking to you because the kid's a good player, but I really don't care. I know we're going to be able to get him better if he's got the right mindset, the right mental capabilities, and he just is bought into what our coaching staff and our team have formed. But the transfer portal is huge. We've been in it. I think we have unofficially, I really can't say, but 3 or 4 guys signed from the portal, probably 3 or 4 more. A couple junior college guys sprinkled in there, a couple high school guys. It's really changed the landscape of high school and prep schools, and it's been interesting to figure out. That's one thing that I do a lot of research with my coaching buddies, talking to Coach Drew. I'm really lucky with the guy like Coach Tangs at Kansas State. Coach Jacobs is now at FAU. Coach Elvin Brooks III is at Kentucky. So they kind of tell me, hey, this is what the transfer portal's looking like. And I mean, it's crazy to me just hearing, there's kids from our level and there's, the next level up, be it in our area, just Canisius and Niagara, guys going to other schools getting 40, 50,000 in NIL money. It's hard to retain your guys
For
that
sure.
way, especially if you don't have an NIL collective. So you're not even fighting the portal combat, as I call it. You got NIL, you got a lot of stuff going on. You got a lot of people in their ears. The NCAA loosening the constraints for guys to transfer, basically can transfer whenever they want. It's changed a lot. And until like this past year, our league, the ECC, didn't have you weren't allowed to transfer in conference, which I always was like, well, we're letting everyone else transfer.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it though. I do think it kind of made the ECC a special place to play, but the portal has played a crucial role. And the one guy I always kind of look at that's like anti-portal is Dabo Sweeney at Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of like to see where his program's going to go. He's an elite coach and an elite mind, but it's always fun to kind of see. I saw he took 0 guys from the portal, and it'll be interesting to see if he's able to build that way. If there's any way it can do it, anybody that could do it, it'd be him. But it's you got to really try to blend, because you just don't want to bring in now at our level, especially. You look at all the teams that win. Damon and St. Thomas Aquinas played in our championship this year. They basically were all seniors and juniors. It's really hard to bring in high schoolers at our level. And if you bring in a high schooler and they play 35 minutes a game and they're good, they're not going to be playing for you next year, most likely. In this landscape, you can re-recruit as much as you want, but that's kind of what that portal's going. It's a blessing and a curse. You got to, but the most successful coaches are the ones that are able to figure it out.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, at this point in the game, it's almost like you have to at least dabble in it to be really competitive.
Yep.
So, speaking of the different levels you've been at, the different levels as far as transfer portal, what are the big differences, in each level that you've coached at?
That's a good question. The biggest difference in all the levels usually is staffing. I mean, at Baylor, it felt like we had 2 million people around all the time.
Lots of help.
So yeah, I mean, if you needed anything, it was getting done. And Coach Drew would come out, hey, can I get that? Before he got the words out of his mouth, and we had the best graduate assistants at Baylor. So there'd be 10 graduate assistants, whatever you need, Coach. So that was kind of there. And people always ask me this question, so I'm glad you asked. It's just like the difference between the Division I high level guys and then say mid-major or low major is not much. It's minuscule. But the difference is it's up here. They're mentally, like our guys at Baylor, and I was a very, very 0.001% guy at Baylor. I was the smallest guy we could in the program, the minuscule. So I was just a fly on the wall trying to take everything in. I mean, I did everything I could to continue to help them, but it's just those guys are elite in everything they do. I mean, they'd be in the locker room competing. They'd be ping pong competing. They're just great people. They're elite people. That's something that we did at Baylor, and that's what I'm trying to bring to Duville is, it's not a place for kids that are buttheads to be around or not good kids. Like you want to build with the right kids, and we had a lot of fun when you have the right kids in your program. And the one thing at Baylor, just again, so smart. These guys could pick up. We would always go to Top Golf and things like that with our guys. We got 7-footers just piping drives right down the middle, like 300. I'm like, this is crazy. Yeah. These guys are just so athletic, but they're so smart. Our team GPA was like 3.5, 3.6. Never had to chase guys to class. Never got in trouble. They're just focused on being pros.
Sure.
And that's what we always said. Pros do pro things all the time. Pros don't take days off. And then, I was at Bonaventure, which is that mid-major. We were really, really good. They still are really, really good. That's a place where you kind of get guys and you have to maybe develop them a little bit. And that's where you really see good coaches. I mean, there's good coaches at every level. The best coaches I've ever coached against on a staff is all at the Division III level. It's just the number of sets those kids are able to remember and the plays and the coaches. It's unbelievable. But the thing with that Division I level as well, that's a big difference, is you get the summertime to be able to work with the guys, where Division II and Division III don't.
Yeah.
So those guys are up there all the time. They're lifting, they're eating. Like at our level, we do as well as we can with the nutrition piece. But at Baylor and Bonaventure, they're there. They work out. They got a shake. They got this. They got that. They got all the meals ready for them, ready to rock and roll. Where our guys have whatever the cafeteria is doing that day,
Right.
and we have a training table, but it's improving every single day. That's something that, again, our athletic director and our athletic trainers and our nutritionists are working towards every single day to get it better. But that's kind of the difference of the levels there. Division III, I thought the basketball was like so pure. I loved it. Both times I was at Division III, Stevenson and Penn State Barron, it was just pure. And the guys are really good. Both teams had really good guys. Our Stevenson team the year I was there was loaded. They were so talented. I had nothing to do with it. When I showed up, I started working these guys. I was like, holy cow, they're good. And people don't understand, if you play Division III basketball, it is high level. I mean, it's unbelievable. And then Division II is kind of my favorite level. You got that you get like that elite athlete, which you do at the Division III level too. The difference between the levels two is right now in the game is the shooting. If you can really, really shoot and you can guard, you're going Division I. If you can really, really shoot and you can't really guard, you're probably going Division II. And if you can really, really shoot and you may not be super athletic, you're going Division III. There's always spot, like that's one way for guys to find a spot on the roster is there's always spots for guys that can really, really shoot it. But then I think the Division II level, you kind of find that mix and match where you're trying to get guys from Division I, you're trying to get junior college guys, you're trying to get prep school guys, Division II transfers, and it's been fun to try to put that together and orchestrate that, especially in this portal era.
Yeah. So, that's great info. I felt like, at Division III, like you said, there's been some fantastic coaches, and I couldn't agree more. I love watching a good D3 game because it's really a chess match with them.
Oh yeah, yep. The best game I saw this year was Hilbert and what was it? Pitt Greensburg. My man Chris Klimchak. They're just going at it. I mean, kid hit like 8 or 9 threes, and then they're just, how many different ways could they get this one kid the ball? I'm just sitting up there like, man, I don't think I can coach. Like, I felt like a bad coach that night. But that's one of the best games I watched all year.
For sure. All right. So how we'll normally wrap up, we'll do some quick hitters. Just a few questions to let the listeners kind of know more about you as a person and not necessarily just a coach. So first question, what is your favorite thing to do outside of basketball?
Spend time with my wife and my dog. We do a lot of that. We volunteer at our church. We're always up there. But yeah, we're big dog people. My wife has a baby. We have a baby on the way in September. So we are getting the house ready and getting excited, man. But that's our life revolves around our dog. And then that will be our daughter too. So we're excited.
Congratulations on that, man.
Appreciate it.
Do you have a favorite song right now or a song that is your go-to?
Oh, jeez. I probably won't win a ton of recruiting points with this, but like, I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of Kane Brown lately. I listen to a lot of Christian music. My guys want me to say Drake and all that. They know I do like Drake, and I like all those guys. I don't really have a song per se though. My music, now that I've touched 30, my music genres have gotten worse. I'm out. I just like what I like, and that's what I listen to.
I'm in the same boat with you, dude. I like specific things, but then you're exactly right. Once I hit 30, I was all over the place, and anybody young wasn't loving it.
Exactly.
Favorite place to visit or vacation?
Up in my family has a little house up in the Adirondacks, up in here like Potsdam, St. Lawrence area. That we go. It's the best. It's very minimal cell phone service. You can go up there. I like to go up there once we get our recruiting class done for like 3 or 4 days and just kind of zone out, get one of my notepads out and just start kind of Xing and Oing right now and try to figure out what we're going to be doing next year with the guys we bring in. Because right now we're just trying to bring in the best possible, and then we'll figure out how to coach it.
Sure.
What's best for our
Yeah,
system.
yeah.
So that's what I look forward to that 3 or 4 days immensely.
Sure. Last one. If you had to coach another sport, what sport would that be?
Oh, geez. I mean, I don't have any experience with it, but it'd either be I'd take the easy way out or the hard way out. The easy way out would be I'd love to coach college golf or high school golf and just go out and golf every day. But I love baseball and football. I think I might be a little too intense for baseball. My dad coached a lot of football growing up, high school football, played college football. So it'd probably be college. I'd like to be college football in some capacity. And when we were down there at Baylor, those guys with the football team, they won the Big 12 that year. So we followed them immensely or followed them closely. It was fun. Those guys we learned a lot from those coaches at Baylor. So that'd be it.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you hopping on with us. It's been a great interview for me. I've learned a lot and soaked in a lot. So thank you.
Absolutely. And if anyone needs to reach out to me for anything, just follow me on Twitter, or you don't even need to follow me. Just DM me. And I'm always looking to connect with young coaches that are trying to break in and trying to get lucky and trying to figure out the next step. I usually have multiple guys or girls, hit me up and say, hey, this is what's going on. What do you suggest? Or, anything like that. And I don't know all the answers. I just have a couple unique experiences.
Sure.
So I appreciate you letting me come on and share, and good luck to you and Chosen One Academy.
Thank you.
Looking forward to recruiting some players from you.
Sir. Yeah, and I'll put all your social medias in the description when we post.
Perfect. Thanks, I appreciate it. This was fun, man. Yeah. Thanks so much.
Have a good one, brother.
Thanks. You too.